Hey Jonesy babes, and welcome back to my channel. So today is the follow-up call. Now remember the last call where Ernesto and Deon, where he had Deon call Crail the lawyer? Well, it's a follow-up call from that, and this is on September 22nd, 2023. Now this call is on Patreon, okay? Phone Calls from Prison posted this call on Patreon. So I know a lot of you guys don't have Patreon, so I'm just coming over here to talk about it so that, you won't be left in the dark, all right? If I can help you out, hey, I'm here for y'all, okay? But anyway, but still, make sure you go show her some love on her YouTube channel, all right? Because she deserves it. She works hard putting out these phone calls. Right now, she's the most valuable content creator on YouTube, okay? So listen, if I can help spread the word out to those who may not be able to afford the memberships, I'll do that, okay? Now let's get to it. Now Deon told his dad that he had to check the lawyer for yelling. And before I start or go any further, I want to say they was talking in code on this call. There were some things I could understand, and there were some things I couldn't understand because they were talking in code. But basically, Deon was telling him, listen, you talking too much on the phone. Basically. But we're going to get into it. So he told his dad about, he had to check the lawyer for yelling at him on the phone. But the lawyer broke it down to him. And then Deon told Ernesto, it was his fault. And I'm thinking he's talking about the calls, and I guess when some things don't go Ernesto's way, he get all upset. Listen, you can't be getting upset with these lawyers that's trying to help you out, because they'll put your case to the back until it's time to deal with you. So he need to cool his jets, all right? But anyway, he brought up that Ernesto always told him to look at both sides of the story. Deon said that the lawyer was right, or he was wrong for yelling. So whatever the stuff that he was telling Deon felt like the information was right, but the way he was presenting it to him by yelling, he was wrong for yelling. But what Deon got to understand is also, he doesn't want to talk on the phone. And you don't know how many times your father probably called the lawyer and he's not going to answer the phone call because he doesn't want to talk on the line. It's not hard to understand. All right, so Deon told his dad, Ernesto, that he need to start breaking it down. Someone need to break it down to him so that he could understand. I guess there's some things that when the lawyer speaks to Ernesto, he don't understand it right then and there. But instead of saying he don't understand, he just go along with it. No, Deon was like, you need somebody to break it down to you because you don't understand everything that's going on. Okay? He need everything to be broken down from A to Z. And I can understand that. If you have questions, you need to ask the lawyer, hey, okay, so what does this mean? Because maybe the lawyer is using some big words and Ernesto don't understand. And then he'll find out later what it means. And then he's like, okay, you know what? This is not right. I got to call that lawyer back. And when he calls the lawyer's not going to answer because he doesn't want to talk on the phone. But what Deon was telling him was, you need somebody to tell you what's going on from A to Z. And that's the only way you're going to know. And that you need to listen. Go ahead, Deon. Talk to your daddy. He said, when them folks come and sit in front of you, you need to write down everything and circle it so you know what's what. Write down all the information and circle things that you need to circle so you know what's going on and what's what. So the lawyer to Ernesto. So the lawyer told Ernesto that something was done, but Ernesto found out that it wasn't done. And that's what he's trying to figure out, because he doesn't want, this part of the case done, and you telling me everything is done, but everything is not done because they're trying to put this case with that. So that's what I got from that. All right. So, Deon told him you gotta have, you gotta have your stuff in order. He said that. He said SHIT, but he told his father, you gotta have your stuff in order. Right? So Nestor was saying he was calling, the lawyer for 2 days, and Deon kept explaining to him, you can't do that over the phone. I don't understand why Nestor can't understand that. You can't do that over the phone. You can't. And Deon kept telling him, you can't talk over the phone. Nestor, of course, come back and say, oh, he just wanted to listen, he just wanted the lawyer to listen to what he had to say. And once again, you can't you can't talk over the phone. The lawyer doesn't want to talk on the phone. And Deon said, listen, that I heard what the lawyer said from the beginning. Okay? He did not want to talk to you on the phone. And Deon also had to explain to Nestor that the lawyer is still fighting for him. It's just that the lawyer is fed up, because he doesn't want to be on the phone calls and be on the internet. And I understand that. I do. I understand that. Nobody wants to hear their phone calls on the internet. But hey, you're getting recorded. So he doesn't want to deal with the whole recorded phone calls. He'd rather see Nestor face to face, have a conversation, or whatever, or however they communicate. But he does not want to do it over the phone, right? See, in this call, Deon was telling him a lot of stuff. He was like, nobody wants to be on the calls, and that these are people that have careers that's on the line that's dealing with him, okay? And that folks are trying to stay clear of him because of what's being put out on the internet. So Nestor said he understood, yeah, I understand that part, or whatever. So Deon said to Nestor that he's far from done, He said, you're not done yet, you far from it, but you got to keep fighting. You got to keep fighting. He also told, Nestor he needs somebody in his corner. He's not going to let anyone railroad him. He's there for him. He's not going to let no one railroad him. But at the same time, he can't keep running people away from him also. Right? And this is the funny part, because the way they was talking, I swear they talk like they are like friends out in the street. And it's like, to me, they starting to sound just alike. I'm picking up on it. They starting to sound just alike. To me, Deon sounds like a younger version of Nestor. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but to me, he sounds just like his dad when he says certain things. So Deon told him, he was like, you didn't lose your looks, anything like that. He said, since you've been in here, you still look good, in word. I was like, oh, okay. That's how we talk to our parents. That's the kind of shit that got going on. And of course, Nestor was laughing. He also told him that his brother had called him and said, yeah, I heard you out there on the phone calls. And so Deon told him, look, I don't care nothing about those phone calls. I'm not doing anything. They don't have nothing on me. And then somebody else told him about, they heard him on the phone calls and said, oh yeah, you knew about that other woman. I was like, oh, Deon, let me tell you something. People are listening to these phone calls. And I'm not surprised. And that's why I don't understand why Sonia keeps saying certain things on the phone. I understand those phone calls are from before, but if you are talking to someone on a recorded line, I guess they didn't think it was going to get out there. But his case is kind of big. It's trending. So, of course, stuff is going to get out there. But child, it seemed like people in their circle are saying, you know, hey, I'm hearing you on these phone calls and you knew about that other woman. He's like, he don't care because he didn't do anything. So Deon was like, I don't care what they heard on that phone call. You know, he said because his folks know his character. And that's all he care about. That's what he said. His folks know his character, and that's all he care about. So he don't care what anybody heard him say on the phone. But he did tell his father, he said, you got to stop bringing up those other folks. You got to chill. And we know who those other folks are. Deon told him, you got to stop bringing up them other folks. You got to chill. You know, so they started talking about the lawyer again, and the lawyer told Deon it's only so much he could tell him. So basically the lawyer is saying that it's so much he can tell Deon. All right. The case, you know, he got to tell Ernesto what's going on with the case. I'm not sure how it works, but even if Ernesto told the lawyer to tell Deon everything, I don't think the lawyer would do that because he wants to talk to Ernest about his case. You know, there's some information that Deon can get from the lawyer, but the bulk of the information it got to go to Ernesto. He got to talk to Ernesto about it. And I understand that because Ernesto is the one with the case. You know, family members, they're allowed to know some things, but I'm not sure if they're allowed to know every single thing. And I think it's better that way, you know, because you don't want nobody. You tell the family member everything, what's going on and who's doing what and who's saying this. You don't want anybody trying to mess with the victims, okay? Trying to scare them off or try to do whatever, or try to, you know. So I get why the lawyer doesn't want to tell Deon everything. So it was an interesting phone call, you know. You're probably going to hear other people talk about it as well, and they're probably going to get more in depth into it because to me they were talking in code in the beginning, and I was like, what in the world are they talking about? And guess what? It was on the captions, and even the captions was getting some of the you know they talking crazy when the captions get it wrong. Now the captions are a lifesaver, I will say that. And then when you read the caption, you gotta when it don't sound right, you gotta make sure you know what they're saying to make it sound right. You get what I'm saying? But anyway, so yeah, that's the phone call. That was the follow-up phone call. And Deon was just telling his dad, look, this is what's going on. You know, you got people in your corner. The lawyer's still fighting for you. You know, but you can't be blowing up and getting upset because nobody's not going to want to deal with you. Then these phone calls, you got to stop mentioning the other folks. And I guess he's talking about Shirley. Stop mentioning the other folks. You got to chill on that. You got to chill on that. So, yeah. Somebody need to tell Sonia she need to chill as well. Because the stuff that she be saying is just like, God. Are you trying to help him or are you trying to bury him? That's what I want to know. Are you helping him or are you trying to make his hole deeper so you could throw the dirt on him and pat it down, stick the shovel in the ground and walk away when everything is said and done? You know? But anyway, that's all I have. I did my best to bring you, you know, the updated news and, you know, the updated phone calls. Let me know in the comment section what you think about it. Now, if you heard the phone calls and you understood the beginning part a little bit better than I did, let me know in the comments. You know that I appreciate it because, honey, your girl was struggling a little bit. I was like, what? I had to keep rewinding it. What? Like, and it's all like, yeah, man, and then it's like, oh my God. But anyway, I did the best I could with what I got. All right, you guys, let me stop fooling around. You guys have a good one, and I will talk to you later.